Welcome back to our journey into the mind and heart of Albert Einstein. Last time we explored his relentless quest for wisdom. Today, we dive deep into something that will shake you to your core. Courage. But what is true courage? Feel this. For a moment, is it the absence of fear? Hell no. The Stoic philosophers, those battle-tested guides from antiquity, knew better. They called it fortitude, not fearlessness, but the raw, unbreakable strength of mind to stare danger in the face, to feel uncertainty clawing at your chest, to endure pain that makes you want to scream, and still do what's right when every fiber of your being is screaming at you to run. Einstein himself lived this truth. He once observed, and these words will cut you deep. Great spirits have always encountered violent opposition from mediocre minds. Violent opposition. Let that sink in. This wasn't some gentle disagreement over tea. Behind that iconic image of the wild-haired genius who shattered our understanding of the universe lies a story drenched in struggle, soaked in tears, forged in fire. He faced intellectual skepticism that tried to crush his spirit, societal prejudice that wanted to erase him, personal hardship that could have broken a lesser man, and the terrifying rise of ideologies that threatened to devour humanity itself. These weren't just obstacles, they were mountains of hell. So, how did he find the fortitude to not just survive, but to triumph? How did he transform soul-crushing adversity into rocket fuel for growth and innovation? Today, we uncover Einstein's incredible courage, a courage so powerful it can inspire each of us to face our own battles with unshakable resolve. Let's explore the courage that forged a legend. The seeds of Einstein's fortitude were planted in pain, in a childhood that would have crushed most spirits. Picture this. The man who would redefine physics was slow to speak. Slow to speak. Some whispered, and you can feel the sting of these words, that he might be slow-witted, underdeveloped, maybe even broken. Can you feel the weight of those labels crushing down on a young, tender mind? The shame, the doubt, and school? God, it was a nightmare. The rigid, soul-crushing, rote-learning environment of late 19th century Germany. It didn't just clash with his inquisitive spirit, it tried to murder it. He wasn't a bad student, but he questioned authority with the fierce determination of a warrior. He challenged outdated methods that tried to cage his brilliant mind. It took incredible courage for a young boy to stand against a system designed to break free spirits, to demand conformity over curiosity. This wasn't arrogance. This was a young soul refusing to die. He understood, perhaps with the intuition of a prophet, that true learning wasn't about memorizing dead facts, but about feeling concepts, about asking why with the passion of someone whose life depends on the answer. Then came the blow that could have ended everything. At 16, Einstein failed his first entrance exam to the prestigious Zurich Polytechnic. Failed. Feel that word. Failed. Imagine the crushing weight of that rejection, the humiliation burning in his chest, for someone with such blazing intellectual ambition. The voices in his head probably screamed, maybe they were right. Maybe you really are slow-witted. But here's where his budding fortitude exploded into brilliance. Instead of drowning in despair, Einstein made a choice that would define his life. He didn't let that failure own him. He went to a different school, fought through another year, honed his skills with the determination of a gladiator, and crushed that exam the following year. This experience burned into his soul a belief he later shared with the world: in the middle of difficulty lies opportunity. That mindset, that fierce courage to find light in the darkest moments, that's not just wisdom, that's a superpower. He didn't just overcome a failed exam, he forged an unbreakable mindset that would carry him through hell itself. What failure in your life is actually a door waiting to be kicked open? After graduating, Einstein couldn't find an academic position. So where did this future legend end up? Working as a clerk in the Swiss patent office in Bern. A humble job, seemingly a million miles from the grand stage of theoretical physics. Most people would have felt crushed. Another setback. Another dream deferred. But Einstein possessed the courage to turn any situation into gold. That patent office became his crucible of genius. While examining other people's inventions, his mind was on fire, wrestling with the deepest mysteries of space, time, and light like a warrior battling gods. He didn't need a prestigious university to think revolutionary thoughts. His laboratory was his burning mind. And in 1905, his annus mirabilis, or miracle year, while still a humble patent clerk, he unleashed 4 papers that would shatter physics forever. This wasn't just brilliance. This was an act of breathtaking intellectual courage. To release these radical ideas into a world that wasn't ready, all from the quiet anonymity of a patent office. These theories didn't just improve existing knowledge. They obliterated centuries of scientific certainty. Imagine the raw courage it took to tell the entire scientific establishment, everything you believe about reality might be wrong. He faced skepticism that tried to destroy him, ridicule that could have broken his spirit. It takes titanium strength inner fortitude to stand by your convictions when the whole world calls you insane. Einstein once said with a knowing smile, "Everybody is a genius, but if you judge a fish by its ability to climb a tree, it will live its whole life believing that it is stupid." He knew his mind worked differently. He wasn't going to climb their trees. He was built to swim in the infinite oceans of theoretical physics. This is the courage of authentic rebellion. The courage to recognize your unique gifts and pursue your path, even when it feels like you're walking alone through fire. Einstein's courage wasn't confined to blackboards and equations. As darkness swallowed Europe with the rise of fascism, he faced a test that would have shattered most souls. A pacifist by nature, a Jew in Nazi Germany. His very existence was a target. He didn't cower. He didn't hide. He spoke out with the fury of a prophet against nationalism, militarism, and the Nazi regime, even when it painted a bullseye on his back. His books were burned, his property stolen. He became hunted prey. It takes a special kind of steel, moral courage forged in fire, to stand up to overwhelming evil, to risk everything for your principles when survival whispers, "Just stay quiet." In 1933, he made the agonizing but courageous decision to leave Germany forever. He gave up his homeland, his position, his entire life as he knew it. But he refused to compromise his soul. This wasn't surrender. This was defiant moral courage in its purest form. Einstein understood something that haunts us today. The world is a dangerous place to live. Not because of the people who are evil, but because of the people who don't do anything about it. These words should chill you. They're a battle cry for conscience. His courage extended to a burning sense of global responsibility. He used his fame not for comfort, but as a weapon for peace, for civil rights, for the forgotten. He knew that silence in the face of injustice is complicity, in our own times, with our own battles. What does this courage look like? Maybe it's speaking up when everyone else stays silent. Maybe it's defending someone being crushed by unfairness. Maybe it's choosing fierce kindness in a world that feels cold. Every act of moral courage, no matter how small, ripples through eternity. Einstein's life gives us a blazing tapestry of courage. The courage to overcome crushing adversity, the intellectual courage to revolutionize everything, and the moral courage to stand for humanity when it costs everything. It wasn't a single moment. It was a way of life. He teaches us that courage isn't about being fearless. It's about feeling the fear burning in your chest and doing it anyway. It's about resilience that refuses to break, adaptability that thrives in chaos, and an unshakable commitment to your principles and growth. As he said with profound wisdom, Life is like riding a bicycle. To keep your balance, you must keep moving. What does keep moving mean for you today? Maybe it's taking that terrifying first step on a project that's been haunting you. Maybe it's speaking your truth, even when your voice trembles with fear. Or maybe it's choosing to learn from a setback instead of letting it destroy you. Find your bicycle. Find the courage to keep pedaling, especially when the road feels like it's trying to kill you. Your mindset doesn't just determine your altitude, it determines whether you soar or crash. Thank you for joining us on this emotional journey through Einstein's courage. If this has ignited something in you, hit that like button, share it with someone who needs to feel this power, and subscribe for more wisdom that will transform your life. What act of courage, big or small, are you committing to this week? Let us know in the comments. Let's build a community of warriors. Until next time, stay fierce and keep growing.